Hi, welcome to the Amber Shows. I'm back. Well, at least I'm back a little bit. I'm not all the way there, but I'm doing the best I can. Thank you for everybody who reached out to me when I had my vertigo experience the last couple days ago. And I will be going to the doctors on Monday, and I will keep you updated on vertigo and what it's all about, and the causes, and what's going on with me. And until then, today, I'm so excited to give you some good news. I have all types of entertainment and news that I'd like for you to know about. The first thing is, did you hear about Mark Wahlberg and P. Diddy made a bet on the Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight that'll be taking place in Las Vegas May 2nd? Well, of course, P. Diddy, he's for the money team. The money team is Floyd Mayweather. Mark Wahlberg is for Pacquiao. So they made a bet. Diddy said he'd bet Mark Wahlberg $100,000 that Floyd Mayweather will win. Mark Wahlberg said, "That's all? 100,000?" Diddy said, "Okay, let's make it $250,000." So that's what they did. They have a $250,000 bet. I'm with the money team too. Mark Wahlberg said he wants that ring that Diddy wears on his finger. That's what he wants to win in the bet. You seen that big bauble he wears on his pinky? I don't think he's going to get it, because I agree with Diddy that definitely Floyd Mayweather, the money team, will be winning. Also, did you hear about Mama June? Mama June, her daughter her daughter Pumpkin, she had an interview in a magazine. So in the magazine, Pumpkin has admitted that she's gay. She's only 15 years old. She broke up with her girlfriend, and she wants to get back with her. Then all of a sudden, Pumpkin blurts out, "Mama gay too." So the interviewer had to stop, and Mama June had to admit that she's had sex with a woman before. She claims just for a little bit. She didn't go all the way, and that she's just maybe bisexual. You know, Sugar Bear, that's her ex-husband on the show. Well, he has a brother who's Uncle Poodle, and he has been on the show as well, the Honey Boo Boo show. He's openly gay and an advocate. So now that is I can't believe it. It's just so funny. Mama June, gay. Did you ever see the episode when she took off her sock and gnats came crawling out of her big toe? Best episode ever. I loved it. Okay, let's also talk about there was an earthquake in Nepal. Nepal is one of the poorest countries in the world, and Mount Everest is there as well. It's one of the poorest countries in Asia, and Mount Everest is there as well. So they had a horrible earthquake yesterday. Lots of people have been killed. Also, people at the base station who climb Mount Everest, some of those people were killed, and I'm very sorry to hear about it. And they have rescues are there now. They're calling on international help, and my prayers are all out with them. Also, this is the anniversary of my girl, Left Eye. I don't know about you guys, but I loved Left Eye. Lisa Lopez. Lisa Lopez from TLC. She was the rapper for them, and she was the writer for the best lyrics in Scrubs, in Waterfall. She was a wonderful, wonderful, talented young girl who died too soon. She today makes the 13 years that she's been gone from us, and she also was one of the ones who was an empowerment for women and young girls in the 90s. She said things in her lyrics that had never been said before, and she did things that brought attention to where the United States was not, they were scared to talk about it. Left Eye wore condoms in her hair. She wore a patch on her eye representing the young man that she was her boyfriend while he was playing in the NFL. She talked about drugs and you should not use them in her lyrics. She talked about guys that are scrubs and not doing anything. They're just sitting on their broke ass. She was a pioneer who was not afraid to talk about HIV and illegal drug use in this country in the 90s. I hope she's resting in peace. I never did believe the conspiracy as to what they talked about as to how she actually died in that car accident, but that's another story. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and eventually I'm going to get into my conspiracy theories about a lot of things, including the Illuminati. So we'll talk about those things later, but I did want to say rest in peace to my girl, Left Eye. Sawyer Sweeten. He was one of the little young boys, the twins, that played on Everybody Loves Raymond. He passed away this weekend. He committed suicide. He's now 19 years old. He was a great child actor on that show. He committed suicide at his relative's home in Texas. I'm very sorry to hear about that, and may he also rest in peace. Today is also the 75th birthday of my boy, Al Pacino. So you know I'm going to have to celebrate by watching me some Scarface this weekend. I think it's only right that I should. Now, there's also been some things that are going on in the United States with a lot of deaths by childbirth. And it's being swept under the rug. They're not talking about it. And it's very, very sad. And it's something that we need to all know about and try and figure out what can be done about it. In Mississippi, they're having the highest rate of mortality, death rates by childbirth in the United States. Mississippi is one of the states that also did not do anything. They did not update their Medicaid programs. So there's mostly, unfortunately, there are black women who are dying at a ratio of 54% to white women who are dying at 27%. Many of the pregnant women are being told to, when they have problems, when they go to the hospital, talk to their doctors because their insurance is so inferior that the doctors just tell them you're being paranoid, go home, everything's all right. Just recently, a lady went to the doctor in Mississippi saying something was wrong. She was 8 months pregnant. They told her to go home. She's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. And on her way home, she went into premature labor. She pulled her car over. She was bleeding heavily. If it weren't for other cars who stopped to help her and her baby both would have died. They said that the death rate is mostly because of obstructed labor, high blood pressure in the mothers, and profuse bleeding. So we've got to do something about that. It's a shame what's going on in America, and that very few things are even talked about. Let's also talk about Bruce Jenner last night. I really give I give credit to Bruce Jenner. He actually is living in his truth. There are so many people who don't live in their truth. I mean, all of us have done something or felt something and were afraid to do it or share it with anyone because you're scared of how you will be judged. You're scared of maybe that person won't love you anymore if you live in your truth. And Bruce, at 65 years old, has decided to live in his truth. Bruce was one of the most celebrated athletes in the world. He was up there with Muhammad Ali, and he married, he had children, he raised them successfully, and now at 65 years old, before he dies, he said he's going to live in his truth, and I do believe that this is something that he does not just want to do. I believe that this happens to people who they really feel this way. Nobody would want to have prejudice against them or people treat them bad if this is not something that's them. He says he's a woman, and he feels like he's a woman, and he said he always has. I applaud you, Bruce Jenner, for your honesty, and I'm glad that you were able to live in your truth before you have to die, and you have never really pleased anyone but yourself. So he is an example of someone who, you got to live your life. You can't live your life for other people. You have to live your life for yourself. You have to live your life and be happy and be in your truth and not worry about what other people think of you. Chris Humphries, who was married to Kim Kardashian for like all of 5 minutes, he tweeted today that he's glad he got out of there fast, as though you think Bruce wanted you? Kim didn't even want you, and you didn't get out of there fast, Chris Humphries. You were put out. So let's not forget about that. They didn't even want you there. Let's also talk about gluten. Everybody is against gluten. Do you know that gluten is actually wheat? Gluten is the thing that makes your pizza dough chewy, it's brown, and many people who have celiac disease are the ones who, when they eat gluten, it hurts them and obstructs their intestines. But other people, like, you don't have to not eat gluten. And we didn't even know about gluten in the 80s. No one talked about it. Doctors didn't talk about it. Even people who had celiac disease didn't even know about it. So now we're running around, the United States people, everybody in the United States is running around wanting everything gluten-free, and they don't even know, are you really feeling better because you have not had any gluten? Do you really know the difference unless you have a disease or something that actually is against gluten and it doesn't help you in any way or obstructs your intestines as it is with celiac disease? And celiac disease is an autoimmune deficiency. So otherwise, I think that everybody should just calm down with the gluten thing and eat in moderation. They say don't eat chocolate. They say don't eat meat. They say don't eat this, don't eat that. But what you do, just eat in moderation. And one thing, drink plenty of water and exercise. And that's all you can do. We only have one life to live. And do you really want to die and you never had a good chocolate bar? I mean, Godiva chocolate. Who doesn't want Godiva chocolate? All right, you guys, I'm so glad to be back, and I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll just be talking to you again later. I just got to get some more news for you. I hope you enjoyed today's news.